Well, good morning, NaNoWriMos, or afternoon to everyone. It is day 3 of NaNoWriMo. It's hard to believe that it's gone by so fast. Um, an update first, beforehand. I basically did not write anything yesterday. I don't feel too bad about that because even though I amassed quite a large word count, I mean, when you're talking about just the basic need to hit that 1,666 words, I did have a buffer, so I'm not too worried. I actually spent most of yesterday cooking. I was cooking all day, and I was actually going to my last big party for Halloween before I went into surgery and stuff. So it was kind of a big deal, and I felt the necessity to take time out to do that. And I think something that's important with NaNoWriMo is most of us do have other responsibilities during the month of November with our families, with our work. So I think there is merit to taking some time off, and that's why a lot of people will do a small buffer when they know that they have business to do during the month. I'm also basically going into surgery tomorrow morning early on, so this is pretty much countdown time for me. I will be spending probably the next 6 hours writing to just see how much I can get. I would really personally like to get at least another 5,000 words in. Maybe even hit the 15,000 words today. I will probably not sleep tonight. That's sort of my MO with surgery. I'll probably go to my parents' house in the evening tonight with all my stuff, stay up because I have to be in the car by probably about 4 a.m. to get down to the hospital by 6, or up to the hospital by 6, and prep me and everything. So as of 6 a.m., I will pretty much be checked into the hospital, and I don't know when you're going to see an update after that. I will try to update. If I'm not able to update while I'm in the hospital, obviously because I will be recovering, then I will update immediately once I get out of the hospital and I'm back at my parents' place. Okay, so in other news, I realized that I didn't really talk much about what NaNoWriMo is in the first video, so I'm just going to briefly take a moment to explain what NaNoWriMo is in and of itself. NaNoWriMo was founded by a man named Chris Beatty. He has a book that he wrote in compliment to the organization about NaNoWriMo, what it is. It's actually really funny. You can get it through Barnes & Nobles or through any of the major book distributors. I have it. It's not very long. It's kind of one of those little thin books, but it's great, and it really shows the true spirit of the competition every year. NaNoWriMo has been going on for over 10 years, as far as I know, and it basically entails a competition where writers come together, and it's a really become an international thing. We have writers from all over the world that participate, not just in the United States, and they are given the challenge of writing 50,000 words in 30 days. And the main rules of that competition are that you can do all of the amount of prep work you want, outlining, drafting, everything else, prior to November, but the minute November hits, you pretty much have to put all of that pre-planning aside, and you have to just write. And they don't care how you write, they don't care if you're handwriting it, if you're typing it, if you're dictating it, whatever. But you must bank words in November. And you're not allowed to use any previous words that you've already done, although there are many people that take projects that they've done or are currently already in the middle of, and then they just sort of add on to it in November. But in terms of what they can add to the word count, the only thing that counts for the word count in November are words written in November. And then they go on like that. And typically what the pacing would be if you were doing it day to day, it would be about 1,666 words minimum. And that's quite a challenge for a lot of people. I know I myself, if I think about it, any other time out of November, I don't write that many words, and sometimes in a given week, let alone in a day. So, I mean, even I, who can kick out a lot of words, that is a lot of words for me on a day-to-day basis anyway. So other than that, it's pretty much fair game. People can write about anything they want. And at the end of November, if they have, they can go on the website while they're through the month of November and document their word counts and put them. And then at the end of the month, they can scramble their draft, put it in officially, have the thing count the words, and then if they get through the word count, they basically they hit the 50,000 words. They've won NaNoWriMo for the month, and they have the pride and the gloating power to say, hey, I wrote 50,000 words or a 50,000 word novel or a draft of a novel in that amount of time. And I've seen people do it with short stories where they've done series of short stories. I've seen people use poetry. I've seen people do books like I do. I've seen people do fan fictions. I've seen people do nonfiction. I've seen a lot of students use November as a way to power through their finals, because you have to remember every word counts in November. When I was running college organizations that did writing, I had a few that I was running for a while. I had said to students that if you want to do NaNoWriMo, you can count any words that you write in NaNoWriMo. So I encouraged them to use their assignments and their papers that they were writing and everything else as part of their word count along with their personal word count, because it does count. So anyway, so that's pretty much the overview of what NaNoWriMo is, and it's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. I would recommend, if anyone's curious, go onto the website, look through the forums, look at the people doing it. It's pretty cool, and I would really recommend, if anyone has extra cash, throw like $10 a donation that way too. It really helps a lot of readers and writers around the world. Nano is a nonprofit, and they do some services around the world for education and such. So that's pretty much the basic rundown of NaNoWriMo. So I am going to get writing. I will probably do at least one more video to kind of talk about some other things right before I head off for the night, and to give you guys an update about my word count. I partied pretty hardy last night, so my last big blowout before the big change happens. Oh my God! Ah! All right, thanks everyone. Bye bye.